Good morning, dear students. Let us learn the second chapter, Subject and Predicate. Let's make a quick revision about sentences. They are the group of words that makes complete sense. For example, Jack and Jill went up the hill. Sam likes to play badminton. Things to remember about a sentence. Words in a sentence should be placed in their proper order so that it makes a complete sense. A sentence will always begin with a capital letter. A sentence will end usually with a full stop or a question mark or an exclamatory mark. Parts of sentence: subject and predicate. A subject is that part of a sentence that names the person or the thing about whom something is said. For example, the man stood under the banyan tree. Ram is going to the market. A predicate is a word or a group of words that tells you something about the sentence. For example, the man stood under the banyan tree. Ram is going to the market. Here, the man and Ram are the subjects, and the rest are the predicates. Features: the subject is usually placed before the predicate, but sometimes the order is changed. For example, the children enjoyed the movie. Shahrukh passed the examination with good marks. The letter came after a few days. After a few days came the letter. A bear came out of the woods. After the woods came a bear. Here you can notice the differences where the subject is usually placed before or where the order has been changed in the place of the subject. Every predicate has at least one verb, and the verb changes according to the number of subjects. For example, the child is writing the exam. The children are writing the exam. Here you can notice the change in the verbs according to the number of the subject. The number here means subject, singular or plural. Parts of predicate: certain nouns or noun like words expression in the predicate of a sentence are of extreme importance. A direct object of the verb is mostly a thing and answers the question introduced by what. An indirect object answers the question whom. A noun or noun-like word expression which follows a preposition is called an object of that preposition or a prepositional object. For example, the boy showed the little girl an old photograph which he had found in his great trunk. An old photograph, direct object. The little girl is the indirect object. In this great trunk, adverbial phrase or a prepositional phrase. Showed what? An old photograph. Showed whom? The little girl. A sentence need not have any object in it at all. For example, the dog barked. If it has a direct object, the finite verb acts transitively. In other cases, the verb is intransitive. If a sentence has a direct object, then it may not have an indirect object. For example, he bought a pen. But if it has an indirect object, then it has to have a direct object. For example, he bought me a pen. An indirect object can be converted into a prepositional object. For example, he bought a pen for me. These sentences have an indirect object. Compound subject and predicate. Examples: Gaurav and Sabina go to the same school. Both the dog and the cat are sleeping out in the backyard. The bookshelf or the bookcase has to go. In these sentences, the subjects are joined by conjunctions. When there are two or more subjects in a sentence, they are joined by conjunctions like and, both, etc. Example: Gaurav not only plays tennis in the evening but also swims. In this sentence, the predicates conjunctions. Types of sentences according to the function. We can categorize declarative or assertive, interrogative sentences, exclamatory sentences, imperative sentences. A sentence can perform four main functions. Depending on these four functions, sentences can be categorized in four different types. A sentence can make a statement. A sentence can ask a question. A sentence can give an order or make a request. A sentence can express some strong or sudden feeling. So these are the main ways. First, assertive. A sentence that states or declares something is called a declarative sentences or a statement. Such sentences end up with a full stop. For example, I love gardening. I get up early. These are assertive and now interrogative. A sentence that is used to ask questions is called an interrogative sentence or a question. It ends with a question mark. For example, what are you doing today? And third, imperative. Sentences that are used to express a command, a request, or a desire is called an imperative sentence. Usually, these sentences also end with a full stop. Example, keep quiet. So, it's a command or order. Take medicine on time. So, I'm giving you an advice. Exclamatory. A sentence that is used to express some strong or sudden feeling is called an exclamatory sentence. The sentences end with an exclamation mark. Examples: how beautiful this rose. What a cute puppy. Ouch, it hurts. Dear students, that's all for today. Stay home, stay safe, and have a nice day.